Hi. I have some good news and some. Well, I don't know if I'd call it bad news, but it's strange news, I guess you could say. I became curious about whether or not I really am pre-diabetic. Because when I looked at myself in the mirror, I thought, gosh, I have no love handles. Everything seems to be, the fat seems to be proportioned right, and I think, I'm close to 50 and I can still see up close. And I can read up close still, and I can still see far and all that stuff. It seems to me if I had diabetes or pre-diabetes, the eyes would be gone now, the skin would be more wrinkled and stuff like that. Okay, the hair is going gray and all that stuff, you don't have to be diabetic to have your hair starting to grow gray. But anyway, the thing is, I just thought, I've got to really find out whether or not this monitor that I have, it's a Max monitor, a sugar monitor, is actually working, and whether or not this research place I'm going to for the blood pressure is actually truthful. I started getting this feeling that maybe they're pulling some strings. They said I had 103 blood sugar 2 hours after drinking this glucose solution, which would mean that I would be pre-diabetic. But I thought, I just don't think I'm a pre-diabetic. I don't think I'm diabetic. I don't even think I'm pre-diabetic. And then I thought, best way to test it is to use my tester and test it on my machine. It has this, looks like blood, but it has some sugar in it, and it's supposed to be balanced out to its. So you test it, it's supposed to be like 100 instead of like 117. You know what I mean? Which is what my which is what my tester showed. It showed it as 117, not at 100. And when I usually take my blood sugar, it's tested on it. It's below 117. It's been in the 90s and around 105 or something like that. The highest it was 114. But that's still not pre-diabetic. If that, because the tester had it 117 twice. And then I found 2 other testers belonging to pre-diabetics. And these testers were expensive. From their doctors, I used that same solution, that looks like blood on there. And guess what it came out to? It wasn't 117 like mine tested. It was in the 80s. So, that means my blood sugar, if it's like that means it's way down. You know what I mean? I don't have pre-diabetes at all. Which makes me think that this research place I'm going to just said I was pre-diabetic so I could get into the research thing. You know what I mean? They want a lab rat, they want bodies, and they said I was just pre-diabetic, because you can't be pre-diabetic if you're not at least pre-diabetic, you can't do this blood pressure thing. I'm glad they let me in there, because that stuff that was not working last time I made video for YouTube, it was high. It wasn't working. Even after a few hours after taking that pill, it was like 10 hours and it was still high. Of course, in the morning, the next day, it was fine. But I'm just wondering if they are lying about my blood sugar just to get me to be their lab rat. What else are they going to be lying about? Are my kidneys and liver and triglycerides and all that stuff not good after all? I mean, they said they were great, but I noticed this morning that my right kidney was kind of bothering me. And I tested my blood sugar, and it was. I didn't test my blood sugar because I think for sure I've now sold that I don't have pre-diabetes, but I tested my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was fine. So, what was causing the kidney to ache? until I drink water. If I drink water, then there's no problem with the kidney. The aching goes away. But I had no high blood pressure this morning, and the kidney was kind of hurting. So anyway, that's how things stand right now. The blood pressure pill that I'm taking, I found it's not lisinopril, it's called Lupin. And that the drug that's coming up that I will be taking for the experiment is called Nabivolol, something like that. I'll get it down, but that will probably be in another couple of weeks. I'll be taking that. I don't know, but that is the experimental drug that they want me on. So strange. I don't know what to think. Well, something had to be done for the kidney. I mean, for the blood pressure. You know what I mean? But I just don't know what about being called pre-diabetic just to get me into the research thing when I really don't think I have pre-diabetes. Makes me a little leery about going back there, you know. And they said, "Oh, these drugs won't hurt you if when you go off them." But hey, maybe they're just saying that so I'd continue. I don't know. Don't know. It's all a big mystery now, and iffy, and unpredictable now. So I'm a lab rat that feels like it may be lied to, just so I can continue being the lab rat. But